Hiya folks, it's Kikoskia here, and welcome back to Let's Replay Icewind Dale. And when last we left off, we are far from familiar territory with this game, at least for me, for we are deep within a Sahuagin settlement, and all the Sahuagin in here have pledged allegiance to the white dragon that we're trying to kill. And there are tons of traps here, tons and tons and tons of traps. Like that one, right there, that we're going to get rid of. Now we're going to be very careful as we approach, because there are more Sahuagin, like you. Now let's just switch to a normal set of arrows, so that we can just fire arrows at you. And it shouldn't be too difficult to, take care of you. Did you have anything nice? You did not have anything nice at all.
Ready.
There is that waterkin elemental that I want to take care of. There you are. Fortunately, I can take care of you with more arrows. Take a tiny bit of cold damage. As a note, we do have some cold resistance potions that I might want to drink before we face the dragon in question. Yeah, they deal some fire damage to us, but I think the alternative is not something we should think about, and that is dealing with that dragon breath. We'll just have at thee with you. Also, there is this here. This gaming appears to have been magical at one time. It's not magical anymore.
Right.
And if we move over to here, we have nothing, but there might still be traps. In fact, there's a high chance there are going to be traps. So let's move forward very cautiously. Oh, hello. Can you target the entire party with that spell? Yes, you can. Probably because I moved closer. Yeah, you're a Sahuagin elite guard that we can just take out with the bow. And you're probably going to stand there and... Oh, there's a couple of you. There's a few of you. Well, this is a great opportunity to have you two move forward and have at thee. There we go. We can save some arrows here. We can absolutely save some arrows here. Yeah! And we don't need the rest of the party to do anything right now. Ah, the ACs of my... Ooh, that's a spear. I was about to say that's a quarterstaff. No, that's a spear. A magical spear. Another magical spear. And shark skin armor. Huh. What shark skin armor? Shark skin armor is used almost exclusively by Sahuagin. It is the equivalent of leather armor in protection, however, it also adds a 10% fire and acid resistance bonus. The armor is not very supple and feels very constrictive when used by non-aquatic creatures. Yeah, that -1 dex is not great. But these spears could be something awesome. They're probably not going to be anything awesome. My guess is like a spear +2. Spear +1. Wow, even less awesome than I thought it was. That is how often I come across a spear +1. I didn't even recognize it.
What?
Well, it's loot.
What is it?
So, let's carry on exploring.
Yes.
Carefully.
Here I go.
Very carefully. For there will be more traps. Or a Sahuagin prince. Hi! You're already wounded. What wounded? Oh, never mind. Coral plate armor, a cloak, gem, and a key. You did not have a magical spear, I might add. This is a key. It is quite unremarkable. It's so unremarkable that it's called a plain key. Coral plate armor is used almost exclusively by Sahuagin. It is constructed of shark skin with hard coral plates at the shoulders, chest, and waist and wrist. It is the equivalent of splint mail armor in protection, however it adds a 15% bonus to acid and fire resistances. It's heavy, not very subtle, and feels very constrictive when used by non-aquatic creatures. -2 to dexterity. Ugh. However,
What?
that is going to be a cloak of protection of some kind that would sort of help to mitigate the constrictive nature for a non-aquatic species. The Sahuagin Prince had no such difficulties. Alright, put this in here. This is a cloak of protection. Yep, +1. We have no need for that, but still nice to have. Okay, let's keep moving forward. And find you. just charge forward. Is that wise? Yeah, it's it's moderately wise. I don't think any of these foes are going to have any real ability to hurt us, especially when the only spell they use is Curse. Alright, let's just keep having at them. More magic spears. Not gonna say no to more loot.
Yes.
I don't know what I'm gonna spend this money on. Yeah, there are some things to open up here. Ooh, there are quite a few things to open up here. They're probably just gonna contain potions, though. Alright. What have we got? I suppose we'll grab all this. It's probably gonna be worth something. And all of these. Okay, inventory is full. So identify that as a +1 spear. No shock there. Put these in here. I always wonder, with all the stuff that I loot from these games, I could probably just have my adventurers run a adventurer's emporium at the end of any quest. Just like, yeah, we'll just sell all the stuff slowly over time. Make an absolute fortune off adventurers that want their own equipment. I doubt they do that, but it would be neat.
Ready, done.
Okay, let us loot every single one of these vessels, and probably find just potions. Or a harp. Okay! Wasn't expecting something that neat. A club. A morning star. I need you to go around there. A throwing dagger. That's going to be a returning one. A halberd. Okay, we're finding a lot of nice treasure here. There's a lot of nice treasure. That can go in here. Potion of power can go into here. They can go there. And you can keep looting these things. Like this halberd. And this club. And finally, a bunch of scrolls. Is that Wish? That is Wish. Ooh. That's Time Stop. Oh. I'm a little concerned that I might not be the level I need to be for this. Well, we'll find out. First, Pestilent Dawn +4. A nasty-looking weapon covered in rust and grime, Pestilent Dawn was created by a priest of Talona named Tamberlin. The Morning Star consists of a grip wrapped in human hair, a stout oak handle, and a rusty iron head set with teeth taken from rabid bears. Pestilent Dawn is typically used only by Talonites, as the sight of the weapon usually unnerves common folk. Immunity to disease and a 25% chance of diseasing someone. 1 damage every 2 seconds. That's a +4 weapon. Oh, is the game giving me tons of +4 weapons because it worries that I won't be able to hurt them? Lover +4. Fahil Brownbriars was the half-elven thief of notoriety in Waterdeep. His list of conquests, both romantic and larcenous, was too long for even bards to recite. The dagger he kept at his side was decorated with a ruby heart, and it became coveted by a small group of rivals in the great city. Fahil was eventually murdered at the hands of a seductress so clever that not even the prescient half-elf could see her malicious intent. The woman, Prespera of Olumbor, sold the dagger for a hefty sum and disappeared into obscurity. That is a +4 returning dagger. We have the Scepter of Tyranny +4. Owned and enchanted by an archetypal priest of Bane, the Scepter of Tyranny was at the forefront of many terrible battles. Arkendros of Bane was a snide, malicious man of almost perfect mental and physical abilities. He could be found leading groups of impressionable young fighters, rogues, and assorted thugs in press gangs wandering Waterdeep. Faced with opposition, Arkendros would simply employ the power of the black and red scepter and urge his minions into the retreating crowds. The charismatic Baneite was eventually killed in battle by a priest of Torm and his paladin comrades. So, +1 charisma, immunity to fear, and cloak of fear and domination. Ouch. Now we have Debian's Rod of Smiting +3. Rods of Smiting are extremely uncommon weapons, though they can be very useful against some foes. This particular rod was last in the possession of a priest of Gond named Debian of Laspir. Debian was an eccentric adventurer who took it upon himself to investigate every type of golem that had been reported in the realms. In many cases, the creator of the golem would send his or her creations after Debian for his snooping. Debian usually escaped without much personal harm. Unfortunately for Debian, his luck ran out when he investigated the lair of the Machinery Man, a bizarre lich who happened to be a creator of golems and other animated constructs. The Machinery Man's lab, full of iron golems, proved to be too much for Debian to overcome, not surprising. Against golems, it does more damage and a 5% chance to destroy them, and against outer planar creatures, has a 5% chance to do an extra 8d3 damage. Ooh. We have the Unstrung Harp. The instrument of a beatified saint of the Church of Ilmata, this harp once belonged to Sephika of Aurdalin. Sephika was a bard, but she did not worship the Lord of Songs, Millil. Instead, she devoted herself to performing ballads to the suffering throngs of Ilmatari everywhere. She was travelling with a group of Ilmatari pilgrims when they were attacked by bandits. The bandits killed and severely injured many of the pilgrims, and they cut the strings of Sephika's harp when she tried to soothe the injured travellers. After the bandits had left, Sephika prayed to Ilmata for help in a time of crisis. When she plucked at her harp strings with her eyes closed in prayer, music miraculously poured forth and healed every person who heard it. The next day, the bandits arrived and killed Sephika for healing the pilgrims. Though she was killed, the pilgrims kept the memory of her miracle alive. Their community attempted to have her accepted as an Ilmati saint. They succeeded in 1218 DR. The harp can only be played by a bard of exceptional virtue, wisdom, and talent. Heal once per day. Yeah, I feel like that's a good thing. Unfortunately, chaotic good, neutral... We are not the right alignment, are we? We are lawful neutral. I don't think we're the right alignment to play that. Apparently we are, but we don't have the wisdom. A shame. And finally, the Icon of Power +3. The Temple of Loviata, in the Vale of Wailing Women, called the Black Spires of the Maiden, has always enjoyed the freedom of good aligned churches that so many other evil temples long for. However, the large temple requires a huge body of standing soldiers to protect it from attackers and spies. The head of the temple guard is known as the Whip of Obedience. He used to be traditionally equipped with a magic halberd called the Icon of Power. When the temple guards saw the icon pass them on their rounds, they took a little more care in their duties. Unfortunately for the whip, a clever human thief from El Terrell, there it is again, decided to capture the icon as a personal challenge. The thief, whose name is still unknown, succeeded at his task and sold the icon to the Church of Bane. The Baneites held the icon out of contempt for the late whip's incompetence. Eventually the icon was lost when the desert temple where it was held, the Obsidian Chapel, was sacked by Bedine raiders. Symbol of pain 3 times a day. Ooh. All of those are good. All of those are good. Can't equip this though, unfortunately, because we're using a weapon in the offhand. Still, that was a nice selection of loot. A lot of endgame equipment there. It's like, hey, do you not have endgame equipment? Well,
I'm here, Jordan.
you've got it now. Do we destroy this?
Yes, right.
What happens if we destroy this? You destroy the preservation ward on the young dragon body, allowing it to die. I don't know what I just did there. Oh! There was a dragon here. I imagine they probably wanted to die. Maybe. Anyway. We will... Maybe they were preventing us from going in. Either way... I just hit a trap. Of course I did. Anyway, I'm going... to... rest out here. Don't mind me. Excellent. The game let me rest. I'm very pleased about that. I'm a little concerned that when I go into this area, though, I'm going to face the dragon. And I don't know if I'm ready for that. I mean, I'm going to have to be ready for it. I'm going to absolutely have to be ready for it. If we're going to be potentially facing the dragon in the near future, I need to bring out some of my better arrows. And by better arrows, I mean... Oh, I only have 35 of these. I only have 35 arrows of piercing. Arrows of the hand are pretty good. Inferno arrows are pretty good. we might as well get the Inferno arrows out, because I know they are not going to be useful against... oh, no, wait, I have 160 arrows of piercing. Never mind, let's get out 100 of these. Let's get out 100 of these. Yeah, never mind, I have an absolute load of them. Yeah, I have a lot of them. Okay, that can go into here. I don't need all of these right now. Yeah, that's a lot better. That's a lot better.
Ready.
Yeah, we're gonna need these arrows of piercing. They can deal a lot of damage over time. A lot of damage. Also, I saved over the wrong slot. I hope this video doesn't end up having something terrible happen to it. Okay, in we go. Oh, this is absolutely where the dragon is. And we didn't buff. Yep, should have buffed before this fight. We're in trouble. There you are. There's a line on your body.
So, you dare to follow me here. I think you will find that to be a fatal mistake.
Fatal only to you, Icasaracht.
Spoken like a true hero. Shall we put those words to the test?
Before we do, there is something I would know. Why do you hate the 10 Towns so much?
Ages ago, dragonkind roamed Faerun freely. Then the civilized races came to power and began to encroach upon our lands. Bloody wars were fought in which your kind launched entire armies upon us. Against such numbers, even we soon fell. Now we are solitary creatures who hide in caves in faraway lands. We fear sleep, for it is often the sleep of death if we are discovered.
What does this have to do with the 10 Towns?
I was slain fighting for my homeland against an invading army. Ionan, a man of the 10 Towns, wielded the blade that broke my heart.
An invading army? History paints a different picture, Icasaracht.
Yes, and history is written by the victors, as they say. It is also said that history repeats itself.
What do you mean?
Look at the plight of the barbarians. Even now, they are being driven from their lands by the 10 Towns. Soon they will be left with two choices, extinction or absorption. They are a proud people and will not bend. They will choose extinction. An entire culture will vanish, lost forever, all in the name of civilization, just as my culture has been lost.
I find it hard to believe you are doing this out of altruism.
When I awakened from my sleep, I looked upon the world anew, and I was shocked to see how little had changed. My lands were still in the hands of the 10 Towns. The plight of the barbarians had not changed at all. I saw a kindred spirit in Wolfdane, so I joined with him to end this tragedy once and for all.
Tell me something else. You were slain almost a century ago. Why did it take so long for you to awaken?
The sword of Ionan had a special enchantment, almost an intelligence of its own. When the fatal blow was struck, it somehow knew that I would be born anew. The blade broke, sacrificing itself that I might be trapped. My spirit lay within my shattered heart at the bottom of Lac Dinishare.
Oh, that blade.
I can only guess that the blade was removed, allowing my spirit to go free.
Icasaracht, I'd rather we came to some sort of agreement than fight. Can we do this?
Never. My heart was shattered long ago, and all mercy bled from the wound.
Well, we tried.
I lost my love, my life, and my kingdom. I shall reclaim it all, or I will pass into oblivion like most of my kind. Draw your blade. Let us end this now.
Well, actually, I'm going to draw my bow. But so be it. Right. So, I'm going to do this.
Let's go to work.
And we're going to move everyone backwards, because there's going to be some dragon breath here, isn't there? There is. Yeah, there's absolutely going to be some dragon breath. Right. Gonna do that.
What would you have of me?
Gonna have some haste here.
Yes.
You know what? Maybe this will work. That actually did work. Okay, but save versus 1 resistance. Yeah, that does not surprise me. Okay. Let's have that haste.
Ready?
Then you're going to cast... let's see. How about Pierce Magic? Maybe lower... Do we have lower spell resistance? Pretty sure I did pick lower spell resistance. Pierce Magic should be the spell, shouldn't it? But double check. Pierce Magic... Yep, that's the one.
What would you have?
That is the one. We absolutely want to lower that magic resistance. So let us lower it. Also, let us move you two forward.
Now I will show you.
You're gonna be my... Oh! Okay, never mind. I have a new plan. It's called Horrid Wilting. That might help. Yeah, that killed... that dealt a lot of damage to some of them, but yeah, we are not ready for this fight. We did not buff for this fight. Yeah, we did not buff for this fight. Yeah, we did not buff. We did not buff at all. And you know what, actually? I want to see what happens when we go to this dragon here. Maybe we'll get something a bit different if we go to that dragon. We'll have a conversation with that dragon. Next time. For when we get back, folks. There's a lot of treasure here. We took all the treasure. And we will go and face off against the boss of the Heart of Winter. This time with buff sufficient that we might actually be able to do something. Maybe. Maybe. And so, I'll catch you next time, folks. And I'll see you then. Later.